Thank you for joining us here. We gave it an extra couple minutes to let people join in, where most of you are going to be watching the replay of this amazing conversation between Cynthia Manion and Karah Jones. And I have the real pleasure of introducing both of them to the stage tonight for this live conversation. And so Cynthia, as everybody knows here, is a very successful person. I mean, she's been a model, she's been an actress, a bodybuilder, a sales professional, entrepreneur, a life coach, an author. She's come out with her latest book, Black Pearl, which you should definitely check out if you get a chance. I know many of you already have. And it's this beautiful book, story of self-discovery. And there she is holding it up. It's really beautiful. It's also, I don't know about anybody else here, but I love the size of it because I can just take it with me when I go places. So I think the size is beautiful too. So I wanted to basically just say that she's shaking everything up. She's getting to the heart of who we are, and she's embracing, all parts of ourselves and of the people in this community and the people she comes across in life. And the book is beautiful and she's beautiful. And I'm so honored to be part of this conversation because we also have to the stage Karah. And Karah Jones is CEO of Angel Competition Bikinis since 2013. They create custom fitness competition suits and make women feel confident on stage. And she's grown into one of the largest suppliers of competition suits for bodybuilding in the world. And ACB Bikinis does ethical sourcing and labor, female empowerment, and making women feel confident. She's been married to her husband, Drew, for 6 years, and they have 3 dogs, Brody, Penny, and Luna. And when not leading the company, you can find her reading, practicing yoga, lifting heavy weights, singing. We're going to need some of that tonight, I think. Or climbing a mountain. So without further ado, I'll bring Cynthia to the stage to kick off this monthly event and this live conversation with Karah.
Good evening and welcome, Karah, and welcome Eric and Galen and Wyatt Woodsmall and everyone else that's here and Colin. And thank you so much for joining. This is so special. I've actually known Karah indirectly for a couple years, 3 years actually, when I got my first competition suit, but it's another side story. The woman is amazing. She has the greatest heart and soul. She makes every woman feel a little more special, a little more like a princess or a queen, depending on what you want to do, not only with her product, but with her attitude and how she does her fashion shows and all the fun things she's doing. I'm going to let her chat for a few minutes and then we'll come back and ask some other questions. So Karah, let's just let you go.
Wow, that was a really great introduction, Cynthia and Eric. I am so honored to be here in front of all of you amazing people. And yeah, like Cynthia was saying, we knew each other for about 3 years, but it wasn't until a few weeks ago that we really got to connect. And Cynthia walked in our fashion show, and I was truly inspired by Cynthia with everything she brought, because not only herself, but her presence and the inspiration that Cynthia was able to give other women on that stage. She really owned it. And that's what our business is about. It's about showing women that they can be confident, regardless of what they look like on the outside, and just feeling that confidence from within to have that true beauty inside and out. I started Angel Competition Bikinis almost 10 years ago when I did my first bodybuilding competition, and the suit I purchased online did not make me feel confident. And at the time, it was the leading supplier of competition suits. So I just was thinking, okay, well, I know how to sew, and I'm very, very passionate about this sport. So what if I combine my love of creativity with bodybuilding? And I'm a lifelong learner, so learning how to run a business wasn't an issue because I truly just love learning every single day. And here we are 10 years later.
And I actually have one of the suits she sent me, and I haven't opened it yet. I was holding on to it because her attention to detail is also amazing. And these could be for weddings, honeymoons, special occasions, birthdays. You want to feel like a princess?
Yeah, and the one that Cynthia is opening is part of our new line for 2023. We started Angel Couture suits, and it is for athletes that want some extra glam on stage. Some of the categories give you the opportunity to have a little bit more personalization with your glam. And so that's the one that Cynthia is opening right now.
I don't know if you could read that. Sun's out, buns out. Woohoo! What
That's
fun.
part of our summer
Like
stickers.
even her tissue paper. Tell them about your tissue paper. I mean, seriously.
Believe it says believe in yourself, doesn't it?
Yes.
Or
As confident, believe in yourself, and her logo, Angel Competition Bikini. And I mean, just every little detail is perfect. So she ships it in. If you want a cute little bikini bag, there's the logo. Totally.
yes, you need to protect your bikini because these are very expensive suits. They are worn on competition stages. But like Cynthia said, you can wear it for your honeymoon. You could wear it to get married if you wish. If you're on a beach wedding.
And not only that, she loves us so much. She has a free gift in there. Look at this, how she's using her branding to make a cuddly pillow blanket. You could use it on the beach. You could use it in your bedroom. You can use it in your car when the temperature gets a little cool.
Yeah, they're especially helpful backstage at bodybuilding competitions because there's so many girls back there, and usually it's just a concrete floor. So that can be really nice to sit on and kind of like save your space. And so you have your own personal space backstage with those blankets.
And here is the great reveal. Do, 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 do. Oh, it's channeling my mermaid in me. Check out this.
That suit was made for Cynthia, but it's actually, it really wasn't made for Cynthia. I like that you brought up that we're trying to reuse and make less impact on the environment. And this year we started our buyback program and our used suit program. So this is a used suit that Savannah Sharp wore at her competition, and Savannah designed it. And then I showed it to Cynthia a few weeks ago in person, and she was absolutely in love with it.
So
I
that's
can't wait to see it on you, Cynthia.
Oh, you have to pay extra for that. And here is the bottom. Isn't that beautiful? And every single thing that she sends out comes with a love note. Has my name on it, written by a real person, not a machine.
Not a robot.
Let your confidence shine. Written, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And so Jordan would be the one who packaged it or put it together for me.
Yeah, Jordan's worked for us for about 4 years. She's really great. She's beautiful handwriting too, so it's a perfect job for her.
How many people are on your staff?
We have a team of 18 women, and we all work in Kansas City. We manufacture every single suit right here in Kansas City. And I love my coworkers, my employees. They're what I want a company to be. You know, we're all supportive. You would think a team of 18 women, there'd be some drama or cattiness, but there's really none of that. We're all very open-minded to each other, and it's a very diverse group of women.
I vouch for that. They were wonderful. And look at even the detail on the card. It comes with the extra sequence in case you make a mess, so you can fix it. You are beautiful. You are enough. You are confident. You are strong. Let your confidence shine. Angel athlete. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you got a gift or a package this well thought out? And then she carries the theme. I've met some of her staff members, and when I met them, they were all wearing their team jackets. So she has these jackets that she made for her team, has her logo on the front. And look at that. And I guess purple's the color of the season. Oh, tell us about your
Purple is just our color. It's always been my favorite color, and we just went with purple, and people seem to love it, and I love it. So we just keep using purple as our color.
And that's just because you like the color? Anything in your background that made you go purple?
You know, not really. Just I like the color. Pink is very, stereotypical feminine, but I think purple is more of a power color or royalty color. So I just really love the color purple, and I think it just screams confidence.
and keeping up with her theme. Can you see your lady maybe wearing a beautiful robe like this over her bikini or her pajamas, or coming out of the shower or coming to see you, keeping with her theme of her angel wings? And I liked it so much, I had one personally made for me because I didn't want anyone to forget my name.
Your beautiful name.
And so I wear this like in hotels and stuff when I'm with my team. I do a lot of masterminds and public speaking, and sometimes you're in between getting makeup and hair, and it's just really fun to put on my Cynthia robe.
Yeah,
When I get a team of 18 women, they're all going to have their robes.
Yeah.
So, and this is something she had in her gift package a couple years ago. It's a little angel dew hopper, which I actually have used walking the dog for my doggy bags and my phone. So just the attention to detail. How did you get started in this? Just because of you looking for the right suit and the right time?
Yeah. So I started the business based on my own struggles, and I had purchased a suit from the most, like, what everyone told me to purchase from online, and it did not fit me at all. It wasn't custom made. It was falling apart. And, I had worked so hard for my first competition. I had lost 15 pounds. It was hard for me. Well, it's hard for anyone. And then my suit was just kind of like, eh. So the next show, I was like, I'm going to make my own suit, and I'm going to make it exactly how I want it. And when I got on stage in that suit that I made, I didn't care what I placed. I just felt on top of the world. And so many girls backstage complimented my business partner, my twin sister. They complimented our suits. And then we slowly started selling, on Etsy and eBay. And then after a few months, we made our own website. And then, 8 months later, we both quit our jobs. And then we just went all out in the business. And we've just been hustling every single day since, and never stopped learning.
That's fantastic. What would you say is the most significant challenge you've had to overcome in your career so far?
That's a really great question. Not to sound cliche, but COVID for us was an extreme learning opportunity. Oh my gosh, we had to, I think any business owner, any person actually in this world can just, learn the lesson of when things aren't going in the right direction, you have to learn to pivot and be okay with pivoting and keep pivoting and learning from your mistakes. Because, when COVID happened, bodybuilding shut down. So our orders shut down, and, it's like, how am I going to keep my house with, my livelihood is based on my business. So just the lessons that COVID taught me are something that I use every single day, of just being resilient and learning how to just roll with the punches, and know that it kind of gave me more faith in my business, to know when something like that happens, we're still going to make it through, because we know how to pivot and pivot successfully. And then, every time we make, not the wrong mistake, but not looking back, maybe not the right choice, we learn from it. So there's no failures for our team, just learning how to learn from failures.
How do you motivate your team? How did you keep their heads all like going in the pivot mode?
You just have to keep the faith alive. And, we are going to make it through this every single day. We are going to make it. And being that leader that, even though at times, like looking back, I remember having my own little mental breakdowns at home, but keeping that, kind of quiet just for myself, because they need a leader. And in the times of COVID, it was uncertain for everyone. So I'm not going to say here and say to the world with 100% certainty, oh yeah, I had 100% faith we were going to make it through. No one knew what the future was, but part of being a leader is showing them and having that faith in them as a team, and just being able to power through it, and be a role model for them to look to in the uncertain times.
So you made it through, girl. Good job.
Yeah, we made it
Good
through.
job. And now it's even better than ever.
Yeah, it really is.
Go ahead.
When I was reading your book, I read it actually on my flight home from Baltimore recently, and it sort of reminded me of, the uncertainty of COVID, because, she almost dies, and then she kind of learned from that and had a rebirth. And it's like, with every hardship in life, the worse it is, the more you can grow from it. And I felt that in the book. She had this beautiful death and rebirth, and that theme is so present in life. if we are able to look for it and learn from it, we can bury ourselves in a pity party and, just do the victim mentality and just sulk around, or we can think of, okay, what is my biggest struggle right now? How can I turn my biggest struggle into my biggest opportunity? And I really felt that with the book. And I love the book. I've told so many people about it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, that's why I knew instantly that we were on the same wavelength, right?
Mhm.
Like the same tribe. And
Yeah.
many of our people that have joined us are also on our same wavelength, helping the world, being positive, keep going. Tell us about what motivates you. Like, what big projects do you have going now that you made it through COVID? I know you do the fashion shows. That's pretty interesting. Why don't you tell our audience about that?
Yeah, we have some really great big projects coming up. And a lot of it is with the fashion show. So right now we've done fashion shows with primarily bodybuilders, and we are starting to branch out from that and open it to the world of the fitness community and transformation fashion shows. So on the horizon for 2024 is a transformation fashion show, and it'll be either a physical or mental transformation that the women will commit to on January 1st. And then we won't have the show until the fall. So they'll have like the first 6 months of the year to really commit to that transformation that they said they were going to do, whether it be a mental transformation, a physical transformation, or probably a mix of both. And then when they get on stage in the fall, they'll be able to showcase that amazing, beautiful transformation they had. And so that's probably what I'm most excited about right now is I love the sport of bodybuilding, but I realize how hard it is for women to enter the sport. It's an extreme sport and it's not for everyone. And this is a way to bring the confidence of the Angel Fashion Show to more people.
Are you keeping it more towards athletes, or are you reaching out to brides and normal people who want to be beautiful?
Anyone who has the desire to better themselves and, have that mentality of strength. So I would say one of the prerequisites kind of thing to do a fashion show would be the willingness to gain strength, because, physical strength is so similar to mental strength. And a lot of the show is about having that physical strength. So it is open to brides, to any woman, but it will always have that fitness component to it. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, perfectly. Because that's a big part of just being a healthy male or female on our planet.
Yeah.
We're all living longer. We can do so much more than we're doing. And the basic thing is your food, your health, your working out.
Yeah.
Your steps, your swimming, your weights. What do you do?
I do a little bit of everything. Primarily, I weight train, and I find a lot of therapeutic benefits of weight training mentally. And the more I do it, the more I realize it's not about the aesthetic. It's about the thinking, okay, last week I could only do 10 reps of this. And now, now I can do 11. It's all about like that mental training. I feel like bodybuilding is sort of like brain building. You're building those wires in your brain that tell you you can't do something. And then you just keep showing your brain, yes, I can. If I keep working at it, I can keep doing more. So I love weight training. And I'm also very into yoga. During COVID, I actually got my 200-hour yoga teacher training certificate. And then I taught for a while. And I really love yoga, being able to just sit with your thoughts and realize that, have that moment where you can look on the outside in, I'm having these thoughts, but my thoughts don't define me. And that's something that I really find the benefits of, yoga and meditation, of being able to separate myself from my thoughts, has been very, very important in my mental health journey.
That is beautiful. So you do a lot. You're running a business. You have 3 dogs. You're doing still some yoga. What's your typical day? How do you fit it all in?
I mean, I'm no different than anyone else. We all have 24 hours in the day, and I am very intentional with my time. I am not someone that ever numbs out. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I very rarely feel the need to numb out over, binge watching TV or social media or things like that. I truly love growing and learning. So I never really feel the need to, like, I guess I don't need all this time to relax. I feel like the normal person, or the average American spends a lot of their time not like wasted, with mindless things. And I like to think I am very intentional with my time. And I do have a checklist that I must follow every single day. I know the habits that I need to do every day in order to succeed. So I have a series of, I can't break these habits. Like I must do this a day in order to have success. So partly that is just structure, knowing what I need to do to win the day type of thing.
And what are they?
So I wake up every morning and I start my day off with a cold shower every day. Doing that really sets the trajectory for my day, because when you get in that cold water, your initial reaction is to clench up and start hyperventilating. And if I can calm myself down with that ice cold water on me, for someone who hates the cold, that is a good mental exercise to start my day. And then I go and I walk just to the sunrise to get my eyes open to the natural light. Then I work out, go to work. And then once I get to work, I have my checklist of what I need to do every single day. And whether it be like answering emails, checking Instagram DMs, working on the QuickBooks, things like that. As long as I get through my list, then I know, okay, I've done the minimum I need to do today. Now is when I start getting to work on my passion projects. So everything is just very structured. And some habits that I have for success is making sure I schedule time to connect with humans, because I know that if I don't have those connections with humans, I start to, really get in my head and I kind of get pulled away and I'm not living my highest self. Like I feel like I'm not living me. So I make sure every day that I am able to spend time to connect with humans, because I have had in my past life a tendency to just work. And then I slowly start to lose myself. And so I've learned that I do need that human connection, and doing things like this, I love to do. Any opportunity I have to connect with humans and just chat with like-minded women, I take up.
Well, I know all these humans on right now are enjoying your wisdom and getting to know a lot more about you and other things that they could incorporate in their own lives. And it makes me think, so when you were younger, what would you say to your younger self now? Or what would your younger self say to your older self now?
Wow, my younger self would be very shocked at what I'm doing. For some reason, growing up, I did not ever think I would go far in life. I think I put myself in this box of thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, and that's just going to be enough. I think I had the mindset of, I just want to survive and have a normal 9 to 5, make a steady income. And it was never exciting to me. And it wasn't until I got to college, about my junior year, and then I really had this kind of awakening, and I was like, there's so much that I can do. Why am I just settling for this? And I don't know. So I haven't always been this way. There was a time, definitely in high school, where I was not motivated. I was not super driven. I did find little sparks of that motivation looking back, and those are the things that I latched onto. So I started playing the cello, and I got really into that. And I remember I was always kind of like, I was so motivated to practice. And I realized now I was getting in that flow state. And it's something that I've learned throughout my life, is find those challenges in life that push you to learn and grow. And I think that's why right now I'm so into and focused on learning as much as I can, because I truly just love to grow and expand and learn.
It's so beautifully said. And I understand you sing as well. Multi-talented woman we have here, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a lot of passions, I guess. I do. Yeah, I sing. I actually started college as a cello performance major, because that, like I said, that was the one thing in life that I felt some pull towards, that made me feel like my highest self when I was doing it. And I did not stick with that major because a cello performance major, there's really no jobs for it. And I switched to getting a bachelor's in science because I love science as well. But yeah, I do have a lot of passions in life.
Eric asked, were you always like that, or did you learn it throughout life?
Yeah, I haven't always been like this. It's something I've definitely learned throughout life. And I do owe, I think, my cello to a lot of it, of learning, the more effort you put towards something, and almost like the harder it is, the more benefit you're going to get out of it. So the more you can push yourself and just keep going, the harder it gets, the more accomplished you're going to feel.
And the more success. How do you define success?
I define success as feeling happy. And I know that's so cliche, but success to me is so much more than a number in a bank account. And it's the combination of one woman that I want to highlight, Leanne Kelly, just taught me this. You were there, Cynthia. Being in alignment mentally, physically, and spiritually. I think that is so key to success. When everything is in alignment and you're living from your true self and your highest self, then that's success, because truly being mentally at peace is really all you need to be happy, if you can get past those mental barriers.
Exactly. Now if you can teach that to the whole world, one bikini at a time, that's all we need.
We will. We're teaching it to the world slowly but surely. We're coming.
Besides her, who else do you think are your role models who have influenced you in your career?
So I have I have great coaches that I work with. Gracie Record, she's part of the Angel Fashion Show, and she's definitely helped me see my highest self. And there's so many people that shape us in our lives. And some people shape us in the negative. And it's up to us to know, okay, this person is teaching me a lesson. It's a lesson of what not to do. So we can always learn from people. And so I owe a lot to the Angel Fashion Show. I have met so many amazing women through it, and I've learned so much from them, and seeing others that I look up to as a role model really puts the pressure on myself, but in a good way, because I want to be that role model for people, and I want to be the authentic role model, the raw, unfiltered. I don't want, to have to pretend I'm anything I'm not, or I want people to just see that I'm the real me, and I'm not putting on a show or anything, because the people that I surround myself with, they don't do that. And you can tell when someone shows up and they're very, practiced with what they're going to say and things like that. And I don't want to have that. I want it to be totally raw, unfiltered, unscripted. I am who I am. Here I am.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What do you think you're going to do for the next 5 years? I know we're going to work on seeing if Barb wants to join that challenge in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
That might be fun. I don't know, maybe Valerie over there might be interested to it. Or Jenny, I'm not sure, or Gina, but so you've got that kind of going. I think everyone heard that she's going to do this fashion show, and it's going to be like 6 months to get ready for it. Maybe you want to talk just a little bit about that for a couple of our females who might be.
Yeah, I love talking about this because I'm so excited about this transformation project that we're taking on. It'll be a whole new style of suits, so the bottoms will be more high-waisted. It'll be very figure flattering, a lot more fabric than our traditional competition suits. Because I know you guys all saw Cynthia's suit, which there's not very much fabric to her suit. So
I wouldn't let my son come.
Yeah, and so these suits will be made different, especially if you have loose skin or anything like that. We'll make it for the model. And so the way this will work is applications will be live around October-ish, and you can check them out at acbikinis.com. And to apply for it, you will just have to explain the transformation that you are going to commit to do. And then late December, we will pick the models and announce who will be walking in the fashion show. But you won't order your suit until 6 months later. So you do have 6 months to work to get the body you want before you order it. And then You'll order your suit in the summer, and then we'll do the fashion show in the fall. And it'll be an amazing journey because you'll have all of these other women that are transforming with you. We'll make a Facebook group, and it'll be a great opportunity to come together and, all of us to be our highest self and to give it our all, to do our best. And that's all we're asking, to commit to this and commit 100% that you are committed to being your highest self. And then through this transformation fashion show, it'll have a ripple effect, from all of these models. Say there's 100 models. Every one of them will inspire 5 people to do something, whether that be to decide to quit smoking, decide to quit drinking, to run a marathon, to lose 100 pounds, to get their cholesterol lower. And then it'll just be a ripple effect for everyone. So it's just getting the word out there and spreading the positive, healthy, happy vibes.
And Eric just put that in the chat.
Oh, thanks, Eric.
If you didn't get it, you can go there and you can also email it to Eric, and he'll make sure that Karah gets it so that she can add you to the list so you can get invited for that in October, because that would be very, very fun. And you got a couple of messages here. Barb wants to know, how did you lose your weight to be so fit and lean?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Okay, so so I went through high school and I was pretty what they call like skinny fat. And then when I went to college, I definitely gained the freshman 20. I attribute that to not working out, and my cafeteria had unlimited cereal. So, I ate Reese's Puffs a lot. Still one of my favorite foods, but now I eat it in moderation. And so after I gained those 20 pounds very quickly in college, it was about my sophomore year where I felt so uncomfortable in my body. And I knew I wanted to change. So the first thing I did was I started tracking my protein. And when I did that, it did all of a sudden help me lose like 10 pounds. There's something crazy that happens when you just start watching your protein intake. And then after I did that, it wasn't until my senior year of college that I started lifting weights. And wow, I wish I would have started lifting weights much sooner, but, thankfully I was like 21 when I started lifting weights. And that is what really, really changed everything, because prior to lifting weights, I was doing a lot of cardio, probably an hour, 2 hours a day of, group fitness classes, aerobic type classes, elliptical. And that wasn't really helping me, because cardio, as it is fun to do, it's not fun to do 2 hours. It's fun to do 20 minutes. It just kind of eats away your muscle if you're not building muscle. And I was only doing the group fitness exercises. So lifting heavy weights and knowing that lifting heavy weights is not going to make me bigger. It's actually going to make me smaller and more toned and more compact. Now I have so much more strength, agility, and I would feel so much more confident to fight someone. Not that I ever have or would, but, so much more confidence to, protect myself as a 32-year-old than when I was 21 and, had a lot more body fat and was very cardiovascular trained.
That's very interesting. I really wish I had figured that out a lot earlier.
Yeah, I feel like society has not been helpful to women, especially I was raised in the 90s. And I love my mom, but she definitely raised me in a way where, eat less, eat as little as possible. You need to be as thin as possible. You cannot be over 120 pounds. Like it was just like drilled in me, smaller. And, I thought cardio is the answer. No, that's not the answer. That is not the answer.
Tom asks a very good question. Will the fashion show feature all body types and sizes?
Yes, of course. The Transformation Fashion Show will feature all body types and sizes. We just ask that you commit to the transformation that you are set out to do. That's kind of the only requirement.
I don't know if you want to answer this question, but people think you're in your 20s.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm 32, just turned 32. Well, Cynthia, you look like you're in your 20s. So
Oh, well, thank you, because I'm in my 60s and I didn't even discover weight building until my 60s.
I know, I think it's so amazing. I've told so many people, I'm sure everyone, well, I don't know if everyone was watching, saw Cynthia on stage, but she got out there and, oh, in the photo, the group photo, we're all in line and Cynthia's back there living her best life. Like it brings joy to my heart to see women just completely authentically be themselves. And I can tell when I talk to you, when I see you, when I hear you, just your aura, you are yourself. You're not trying to be anyone else. You are Cynthia. And that's beautiful.
Thank you. And it's fun. And so I entered every category. So I entered the Masters 60 and above, I entered 50 and above, I entered 40 and above, and I entered 35 and above, because heck.
Why not? I love that. I love that.
So I won something in 60 and 50. Once I won something in 40, but not this year. You should see them. It's so inspiring. It's so inspiring. I said, where are all you girls? You're not at my gym. You have to
Well,
like
Cynthia, you compete
tell everybody.
because you've done the Conquer bodybuilding competition and you compete at one of the biggest natural bodybuilding shows in the world. Like you're competing against I don't know if you know that.
Actually, I
You've
didn't.
only done the Conquer, but that's one of the biggest competitions. So you're competing against some very, very seasoned athletes.
Ooh, maybe you shouldn't have told me that. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. What are the biggest changes you see coming in the next 5 years?
For me, or for the business?
How about both? Let's do you
Okay.
first.
I've had a recent kind of mental rebirth. That's why I resonated with this book so much, because this year I've overcome my mental health struggles. And I don't really talk too much about my mental health struggles, but I recently, so I come from panic attacks and very high anxiety. And this year I kind of had a breakthrough and I no longer suffer from anxiety. I am off all of my medications and I haven't had a panic attack in 2023. I haven't had a panic attack. So myself, I'm just going to keep living and growing through that, being at the peak of, I can only go up from here in my mental health. So I'm very excited to see what these next 5 years will do. And I am dedicated to being my highest self. I am truly committed 100% to being my highest self. And so whatever that looks like in the moment. And I know I'm kind of going off the question here, but someone recently asked me looked at me in the eyes and said, are you 100% committed to being your highest self? And I said, yes, 100%. 100%. And you really have to think about that question, because what does that mean? If you are dedicated and committed to being your highest self, that means every single day learning, growing, being humble, not letting your ego take over, just getting humbled again over and over and over again. And it is a hard life, but a hard life is a good life. Making the hard choices leads to a good life. And so what does this look like 5 years from now in the business? Time can only tell. And we're not a business to really sit down and make a 5-year plan, especially since COVID, because we realize how uncertain the world is. There's all of these new AI things and a lot of tech improvements that we foresee the future going. And I see the fashion show even being more desirable as the world gets closer and closer to the robot world, whatever we want to call it. We don't know what's happening. We are going to crave that human connection. And myself, I know that part of what got me out of my mental struggles were just opening myself up to other people and showing my true self, like who I actually am, and not having that shame about it, not being embarrassed, just showing the world, showing my friends, showing my family who I am, even the bad parts. We all have those negative parts to ourselves that, we don't like, but learning to love that part of yourself is something that is so crucial to success. So anyways, I want this Angel Fashion Show to be that space where women can connect to others. And I know how many lifelong friendships it's brought. So I know that the Angel Fashion Show is not going anywhere. The more the robots try to take over, the harder we're going to push back on this human connection.
Um, our little angel preacher here did a good job with that. I mean, Eric, wasn't that beautiful?
Oh, thank you.
One of the things that she did previous to the fashion show was the night before, all of the fashion participants were in a room, and she just started with little round tables and had them all speak to each other and get to know each other a little bit. Where are you from? And why don't you tell them a little bit more about what you went and did in that? Because that was a really nice way to set it up.
Yeah, we have what's called our opening ceremony for the fashion show. And it's a place where we all finally get to meet each other, because we've been virtual during the whole prep for the fashion show. So it's so exciting to actually get to hug and have that energy in the room. And then we all share our stories, and we do some get to know you games, and we do different activities to push you to open up at a deeper level, because I see that is the key to happiness in life, is being able to show the world your true colors and who you truly are on the inside, without shame, embarrassment, or any need for validation. Just to be able to show up as you are. For our opening ceremony and for the fashion show, we really preach that you are not being judged. You do not need to come as anyone other than yourself. This means you don't need to have your hair done, your makeup on, if that's not who you are. If that is who you are, please do it. Get the lashes, do everything. But just know it's about who you are on the inside. And when you're on that stage, letting that inner beauty shine and letting that inner confidence shine. It's not about what's on the outside, because, we can kind of see through that. If you stand there and do your posing and you're just pretending to be confident, it looks way different. We need you to be confident, vulnerable, open from the inside out. And so that opening ceremony is to really get girls to open up and just know that they're safe to connect and open up, because that's a lot of it is women sometimes feel, I know I've been there, scared to show who they truly are. Maybe they've been shamed by showing their personality from a young age, or there's just a variety of reasons that cause us to close down and try to shy away from who we are. So the opening ceremony is there to just create a safe space for people to open up.
And she takes very good care of her people too. So while she was there, she promoted somebody to coach. Is that the official title?
To, a sponsored athlete.
A sponsored athlete.
Yes.
Sounds better. Tell us a little more about how they got to be a sponsored athlete.
Yeah, so that was Vasi, and she's been ordering from us for a couple of years now, and she's just a very, very inspiring woman. She's in the military, she goes above and beyond, and her work ethic is so amazing, and she's a role model to so many people that I was talking to one of our sponsored athlete director, Savannah. I was like, I really want to promote her in person. That would be really special. So we surprised her, and I'm like getting tears thinking about it, because when we did it, she was just so grateful, and I was so grateful. That's one thing that, I love about our sponsored athletes is we feel like, oh my gosh, what did we do to deserve Vasi as a sponsored athlete? And then she feels like, oh my gosh, what did I do to deserve Angel to sponsor me? And so it's that, we both feel like we owe the other one something, and that just creates the most beautiful partnership when both parties are so grateful. So what does it mean to be a sponsored athlete? You get all of your competition suits and anything you need suit related for your shows for free from us. And then we help you grow your brand, posting about you on social media and working together to see what we can do. A lot of our sponsored athletes have their own teams, and just working hand on hand with our sponsored athletes.
You do a good job on your social media. In fact, you can check her out on Instagram and see one of the pictures, because she gave the coach like a white denim jacket with wings on it. So all the were wearing these white. So there's a picture of 3 of them walking down the hall in their white jackets in your Instagram, which is rattle it out so Eric can put it up on the chat.
Yeah, so that's my personal Instagram, Karah ACB, and then the business Instagram, it's linked in my bio. So if you just do the Karah ACB, you'll see that Angel Competition Bikinis is our business Instagram.
Then you can see some of her beautiful gals, because she's always posting them.
Yeah, we get so inspired by all of the beautiful women in this sport. Bodybuilding is you have to be very honest with yourself and vulnerable and open, and you learn so much about yourself that if you've gone through a bodybuilding prep, then you know, you can relate. It's like so much camaraderie between the athletes. And I just love meeting all the women involved.
I remember the first time I took measurements for Frank Meekins, and I was like, ugh. It was 3 years ago, and I was like, really? Wow, my thighs are what my waist used to be. How did that happen? It
Yeah,
really
and part
is
of
a
that is,
sobering thing.
being that vulnerable and being willing to do it, and I'm sure you had some mental growth through that. I always like to tell people the bodybuilding, it's not about aesthetics. That's a nice part of it, but it's so much, it's mental training. It's mental training. And the more you can mentally train your brain, your mind, the more you can go in life.
I think everyone knows when I haven't worked out that day, like Eric, I didn't work out today. It really, really affects you.
Yeah, it does.
I think I need it more for my mental. I think the body just kind of came as a little gift. I was recently on the one where you go like this and you pick up your knees. And I remember the coach like skipping it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
And so I would go in the evening sometimes on my way home from work and I go, okay, today I'm going to just, and just the other day I was and I did 15 easily. And I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
I've been practicing that. I was like, so it was like a little bonus gift when really the gift is the mental aspect and getting your ickies out, like when you're concentrating on your reps and maybe moving up 5 pounds, they need to make the weights a little better. I need to move up 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Those 5 pound and 10 pound jumps are like, ah.
I know 7.5 pound dumbbells are a gift.
Really, you could probably have Angel little proper weights too. I don't know if you want to ship them, but just an idea.
Yeah, and weightlifting can be a meditation in itself. If you can really connect to your mind muscle connection and just have all your focus on your muscle for a while, it's a really great practice to get out of your head and into your body. We all need to do that on a regular basis because our brains are great. Obviously, I'm alive. It's doing what it's supposed to. But sometimes, we have to realize that our brains evolved in a weird fashion. We're always thinking that a tiger is going to eat us, or if someone cuts us off in traffic, we think like our brains are like, they're going to kill you, when that's not true at all. Our brains are so smart, but at the same time, we need to learn how to get out of our brains when we need to. Otherwise, our brains can take over and do some damage, as you see in the world.
Back to that meditation thing and saying positive things to your brain all the time, because I've been in that in the past few weeks and I had a major problem turning it off.
Yeah.
I really wanted to stay in bed that day and pull the covers over my head and go away.
Yeah.
But I was in the hotel. I went down to the gym and I figured out how this stuff worked, right? It's always different when you go to a hotel gym. I'm like, okay. And I came back because I was rooming with 3 girls and they're like, you went to the gym? I'm like, yes. Cynthia's back. We may proceed.
I know what you mean. When you're in your brain, it's like, okay, like if you're stuck, when people say, oh, I'm just in my head about this, it's like, you're not yourself. And you need to know like what can get you back to yourself. Like for me, it's definitely going outside, whatever the weather is, and just like looking at the sky, looking at the trees, just knowing, kind of that always brings me back to Karah.
Yes. Yes. When you get negative criticism, negative stuff, how do you handle that? How do you do it the same way? How do you handle someone that says, I don't know, you probably have a lot of disgruntled customers. How do you handle that?
So that's a great question, because over the past 10 years, we work with bodybuilders. Our customers are carb deprived. They need these suits at the exact date they need it. And there's no questions, like they need their suit for their show. So, and these suits have to fit perfect. So there are some times that our customers do say like, are not the nicest to us. And it honestly does get in my head. I care so much about the customers that I do have to sometimes pull myself away and say, okay, stop thinking about this right now. It's not the end of the world. And knowing how to, stop and get those thoughts out of my head. It's been a struggle, and it's been part of my mental mental health journey, able to, deal with negative thoughts. And even myself, like I dealt with body dysmorphia in the past and learning to overcome the negative voice in my head, which I will say I have overcome it. Yes, I still have those times, we all do, but I now know that it's just my thoughts. It's not who I am. Thoughts will appear and they don't have to be true. And so it's been good learning to deal with that. I will
So,
say that 99.9% of our customers are completely amazing and the sweetest people in the world and so appreciative of everything.
but I know when some of them think they're this size and they're really this size, or if they're this size and they're really this size, those are,
Yeah.
how
And
would you handle that?
we don't have a storefront really, so all the measurements are done online. We do have, at this point in time, we have a 99% first time fit rate. And that has grown exponentially. So when we started in 2013, it was probably closer to 60%. When we were shipping these suits out, we didn't ship very many. So we were able to, alter things for people. But we have, since 2013, we've sold almost 50,000 suits. And with every single customer, we have a learning opportunity. How can we get our formula better? How can we, size this better? And we've definitely taken that, and we will never stop getting better. One thing that I love about the bodybuilding mindset is we're never satisfied. And that does not mean that we're never happy. We're very happy, we're very content, but we're never satisfied. We will keep getting better.
Are there any other questions, Eric, that I might have missed that you want to ask?
I think that was so, I mean, gosh, I'm like stunned. That was such a great conversation, and your answers, you're like in this flow state. It's I would like to ask about being your highest self and being your best. What does your meditation practice look like for you?
So at a minimum, I do 10 minutes of meditation at a minimum every day. And that's sitting upright, legs crossed. I'm not lying down. I do not have a back support. And for me, that's very important, because the key to a successful meditation for myself is to come to almost a state of sleep, but a conscious sleep. So I need to be upright so that I don't fall asleep. And so my meditation would be definitely a minimum of 10 minutes a day on that.
I agree. I do that myself. I do Diksha actually on Monday through Friday with a group that I met in LA, and we've been continuing it from 7:30 to 8 a.m.
Oh, I love that.
To join, I'll send you the link. That's Eastern Standard Time. And then I do the Peloton meditations. So they have a different set. So I usually put on one of the sleep ones before I go to bed, depending on how tired I am or how much I'm not tired. I'll go 40, 15, 10, 5 minutes, depending on. And I think it is really helping my grounding. And then I go through my body and my mind and thank God for like finding the parking space when I drove up to the appointment today. I was just like, wow, it was waiting for me. Like I walked in and they're waiting for me, and then they were waiting for me. And I was like, wow, it's magic. This is a great day. And then I knew I was seeing you, and I was like, wow. And then I got a couple irritating calls, and I'm like, like, okay, I'll postpone this one to this one. I'll move this one here. I'll move that one there and there. And I was like, okay, let's get ready for Karah. Let's talk to Eric. Let's take a moment, regroup, get all prettied up, and come do the thing. And just like taking those moments sometimes and talking yourself through it. And then I went back and went, I was so lucky to have that parking space. That made the whole day better.
Yes.
And being grateful for those things, and like, just waking up in the morning.
Yes. Gratitude is so important.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard question. One thing I was talking about earlier, how can you turn your biggest obstacle in life, or your biggest maybe failure, your biggest struggle, into your biggest opportunity? That is a great mindset to have, because if you have that mindset in life, you can accomplish anything.
That is beautiful. And I have a present that I'm going to be sending to you. It's my love pearl, a wish waiting to come true. And I don't know if they manufacture those in angels, but
I love that.
So I gave some of these away as gifts, and it actually has an oyster in it that you get to open to see
Oh,
what
wow.
pearl you
That's
have, and it
beautiful.
has a little mermaid, and then you put the pearl over the other side. You
I
put the
love
pearl
that.
in there, and they have a white pearl for wisdom. I think we have Wyatt Woodsmall on here. He's the MPL guy who taught Tony Robbins. He's full of wisdom. He used to have Wisdom Wednesdays. I don't know why, if you still do that or not. If not, you have to alternate Wednesdays with me. We're the last Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Cream for success, peach for health, purple for wealth, and black for love. A shimmering love pearl awaits you to brighten your every mood. A perfect gift to yourself or your loved one. Before opening the container, make a wish and enjoy wisdom, success, health, wealth, love, and each unique pearl contains. And then it shows you like how to do it.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, yes, yes. So, and Barb, if you send me your address, I'll send you one too for being such a good participant today. And I want to thank everybody. Is there anything else anyone would like to say? Comments, good wishes, love? Okay.
Thank you for just sharing your story and everything. And kudos to you being in your 30s. More power to you. Like Cynthia, you're in your 60s. I'm in my 50s. So I'll be honest, the workout, things like that is real. It's not, I'm not going to say it's easy, but at the same time, I make myself get up and do it. And I feel so much better after I do it. So it's great to know that I can go to the gym. And I love how you made that comment about lifting heavier weights and not actually making yourself bulky, because that was one of my biggest fears, was if I went heavier, I didn't want to be bigger because I'm already big enough. I didn't want to be big. I wanted to be smaller. And that kind of made me feel better to know that I can go heavier on my weights and not be so bulky. And I do love the fact that I do need to go between 5 and 10. There's got to have a happy medium in there.
Mhm.
So that 10 pounds is too much, but then the 8 pounds might be a little, so I get it. Maybe we need to come up with some kind of weight and make a 9-pound weight. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe.
Nobody take my idea unless you give me the copyrights first, right?
Well, you know what,
You can do
Barbara,
it.
I know that you can do the 10-pound weight. So next time you're trying to debate, just try the 10-pound. You can do it.
Right. Just do less reps. Start
Yeah.
with 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, like, yes, I get it, but there's certain exercises that 10-pound gets me a little. So I'm working up, and then every week I increase either a half a pound or 5 pounds or something, just depending on what machine I'm on. So that determines on what exercise I'm doing at the same time too. So I know I have what I have to watch on my limits. And there's some that I can go up higher, some that I have to work. And that's what one thing I'm working on, is building that momentum to go higher each time. And I'm impressed with myself as well to say I have increased on certain things. And there's some that are still a challenge, but that's okay. I'm there and I'm doing it. That's
You're
the way
doing it. And that's all that matters. You're doing it, Barbara.
And you're getting all the benefits.
Yeah.
Eric, do you have any weight lifting tips for us?
I think maybe
Oh, Eric
Tom,
F.
I know Tom
Eric
has been
F.
weightlifting for a long time. Tom, do you want to share your routine? And maybe you've spoken before about the influence of your mom on your fitness throughout your life. If you want to share that too.
Yeah, actually, that's great, Eric. Thank you for that. And Karah, this was wonderful. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you. And
Thank you for
Cynthia,
listening.
wonderful job as a host and interviewer. Yeah, I love that. Karah, I first went into the weight room when I was 13 in my junior high school, and I've been lifting weights ever since. I'm 62 now, and I notice as I get older, the loss of muscle mass, and it's harder and harder to maintain the ratios of things that I would like to have in my body. But something you said really resonated with me about women and weightlifting. And I have to say that at this point, after I've been lifting for so many years, that seeing you doing what you're doing and being an advocate for that sport and for women in particular, and body, image and body confidence and stuff like that. It's a wonderful thing to see. My mother, as Eric mentioned, my mother was a dancer, and she, as she got older, she knew that bone strength was really important, and that resistance work really helps with that. And so she was more into that, I think, for staving off osteoporosis, which she did a really great job with. And at this point, I'm 62. I still lift weights, 3 or 4 times a week. I enjoy it a lot, and I'll always do it. It's just great for all sorts of fitness and health purposes, but maintaining muscle mass is a huge one as we get older. Anyway, just a few things I wanted to share with you. I'm really inspired by what you're doing, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You were a lovely, lovely guest. I can't wait to see and work with you again. Thank you all for attending. Have a beautiful night. Eric F., did you have closing words on weightlifting?
As in Eric Flanoy?
Yes, Eric Flanoy. Yay! I forgot I had 2 Erics here.
Earlier. First of all, I'm just glad to be here, and phenomenal show. I really appreciated all the insight that's been caught. Of course, I'm at work too, so I've been in and out. But I think it's already been shared earlier, and more than anything, you start small, and gradually work your way up, and that's hence the whole word of the concept of bodybuilding. You start slow as you have to and move your way up. Somebody's honking, so let me go. God bless. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Eric. No, I was just thinking about your voice and what a great voice you have. Doesn't he have a great voice?
He does. He does.
And so do you. I was like, when I said, Angel preach, you were in that moment, where you just wanted to like soak it all in and get the words of wisdom.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been such a joy, and I love speaking, and I love being included on this podcast. I'm so honored to be here talking with you.
You did a beautiful job. Thank you so much.
Well, you did a beautiful job too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because you are amazing. I am amazing.
Yeah.
We are amazing. That's
Yeah.
a little chant. I usually open and close with. I almost forgot. One more time. It goes, you are amazing.
You are amazing.
Amazing.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
We are amazing.
We are
We
amazing.
are amazing.
And that works in the mirror. It works in a whisper. It works in the ladies' room when you're having a moment. It works best on a mountain when it echoes.
Oh, I love that on a mountain.
Have an amazing night.
Okay, well,
Bye-bye.
good night. Thank you so much.